One of the most important features in Photoshop is the ability to undo whatever you just did, because just knowing that nothing that you do is permanent allows you to experiment and play in Photoshop. For example, if I choose to select the image menu and then image rotation and then flip the canvas horizontally, I can always choose to undo this. I could select Edit and then Undo, or I could use the keyboard shortcut Command-Z on Mac or Control-Z on Windows, or I can show my History panel. Now, if your History panel isn't showing, use the Window menu and choose History, and you can see that whatever I do in Photoshop is going to be added to this list. So to go back in time, I would just click the previous state. Now, by default, the History panel is going to keep track of the last 50 commands that you do. If you want it to keep track of more or less, you can always change that in Preferences under Performance. Now, let's build up some history by making some edits to this image. I'll start with the Filter menu and choose Stylize, and then choose Solarize. Then I'll go to the Image menu and choose Adjustments, and then we'll invert this. Then I'll return to the Filters, again to Stylize, and then choose the Oil Paint filter, and I'll just apply it with the default settings. Then I'll return again to Image and Adjustments and Hue Saturation. I'll go ahead and click on Colorize to bring it all to the same hue, and then make one more edit, which is under Image and Auto Tone. Now, in order to go back multiple steps, we can use the History panel, the Edit menu, or the keyboard shortcuts. If I select the Edit menu, I can undo what I did last, and then continue undoing back through time. Or I can use the keyboard shortcuts to either undo or redo. In this case, it'd just be adding the Shift key, so it'd be Command-Shift-Z. Or we can use the History panel and just click on whatever state we want to return to. Just know that if you go back in time in history, history is linear, so the states below your currently selected state, the ones that are grayed out, if you did something right now, those states would disappear. Now, at any time, you can also revert the file. We can do that by either closing the image without saving any changes and then reopening it, or we could choose File and then Revert. Or on the top of the History panel, Photoshop creates a snapshot when you originally open the document, so you could click on that in order to revert it. One thing to know is when you do close the file, the history is going to be discarded. So the next time you open the file, you won't have access to it. The history is going to start fresh. All right, let's go ahead and close this image. I'm not going to save any changes. And in future videos, we'll discover additional ways to work non-destructively with those filters and the adjustments. But as you can see, the ability to go back in time using multiple undo or the History panel is a huge advantage. It enables you to work in a much more flexible environment where you shouldn't hesitate to try something new.